Hey everyone, so I am super excited right now. I am doing an art fair for the first time since COVID, and also this is the first time that I'm doing journals. So normally I would have done paper bead jewelry, but I've switched to journals and I'm super excited. So this is some of what I'm going to be taking now. I will tell you that they're not completely done. These are in various stages, varying stages of completion, but I kind of wanted to do just a little show and tell because I'm super excited. And so what I'm going to do is just clear these out of the way, I think, and just show and tell a few of them because I'm super excited. If you can't tell, I'm super excited. All right, so let's just move these out of the way. And what I like to do is I love thrift stores and I love estate sales and I love true vintage. So what I am doing is taking books, old books, and gutting them, which is okay with me. It's kind of painful to like tear apart a book, right? But it's okay with me. If I'm gonna use it for something else, totally awesome. So here's what I'm doing. So I'll start with this one. This one is not fully complete. It needs a cut. None of the signatures have been stitched in on these yet. That's my very last step. I tend to like to batch these. So I will, gut the books, pick the papers, the papers for the spines and the insides if I'm using them for the signature wraps, cut the paper for the pages, and then I'll ink anything that needs to be inked and then start putting things together. So the very last thing that I'll do is once they're all to that final stage is go ahead and sew in the signatures. And it's nice because I can do that like while I'm watching TV and it's Halloween this month. So I'm an absolute horror fan. My wife and I both are just like horror junkies. And so it's so nice to be able to just sit in front of a movie, even if I've seen it 100 times and, sew these things in. So, all right. But for this one, this was actually a shorthand book. And I couldn't save the spine. Sometimes I can save the spine. If I can, I like to, but this one was too torn up. So I covered it with a piece of scrapbook paper, and then I did scrapbook paper on the inside just to cover the spine. And I reinforced the spine with a piece of cardboard. And then these are the signatures. What I do for signatures is I'm using parchment paper just because I would have, if I was doing a full custom junk journal, I would use primarily like hand dyed paper or other papers. But for these, if I was to dye paper for all of these, that's all I would be doing my entire life, would be dyeing paper, and that's just not feasible. So this is parchment paper. I get it 500 sheet box, and it's really reasonable. And then I've got so much scrapbook paper that I just use scrapbook paper. And this one I haven't inked the inside yet, but I'll show you one that is. But anyway, 3 signatures on this one, and then it'll be sewn in, and then I'll just embellish the cover. For example, like this one. This is an atlas. I was able to save that, so I was super excited. And then I just embellished the cover, and I covered the inside with vintage map, did some pockets, a pocket here, vintage map here, and then, no, that's a piece of scrapbook paper, I'm sorry. Vintage maps here. And then normally what I'll do is I'll just, because these are just blank journals. These are not full, tricked out junk journals. These are just blank journals to sell at a art show. So I'll just stamp the corner of each page just to give them a little personality and plenty of space for writing. So blank journals. This one is 3 signatures as well. And then ready to sew in. All right. This is a C.S. Lewis biography. And I was so upset with myself. I had a different paper here, and it was so much, I liked it. So it was this paper, and it was perfect the way it lined up. And then I realized that I put this, because I wanted this in the lower left, corner of the cover. I realized that I put it upside down. So it was actually here. So I had to recover it. Luckily I had another piece of this paper, but I didn't have another piece of this, so I had to do it that paper, but still nice. And then these are just inked. I just use just a light brush and just go over it just so it's not stark white on the scrapbook paper. And then some pockets. Do a couple different style pockets. And then that's it. And then I've got this one. This is Plays of Anton Chekhov. And I didn't cover it. It's dirty. It's dirty, but I didn't clean it because I like that. I like that roughed up look. And I've got so many fussy cuts. Fussy cutting is one of my favorite ever things to do. And so because of that, I have thousands upon thousands of cuts, tons of birds. So I went with the birds on this. And again, and then the bird stamps in the corners. And is it both bird stamps or is it something? Bird and flower. It might be a bird and a flower. Yep, bird and flower. Okay. Anyway. And then I'll just go through. I'm not going to flip through every single one. I've got this one. This I actually did a masterboard, well, sort of a masterboard. I actually did it right on the paper. But I love this new gas cookbook. And then these are a couple of novels. These are Booth Tarkington novels. I've had these forever. And I just did this one. I did the hearts because it's kind of a love story. And then the little flowers and hearts in the corners. And then this one, oh, let's see. Oh, that's flowers. And on these, sometimes like I said, I have to cover the spines because they're just too ratty. Those I did. This one I did not. I found this at a thrift store not too long ago, and it was actually rare because it was in, it's not a rare book, but it was rare for a thrift store because it was actually in a plastic bag. So the sticky from the tag was not on the cover, and so the cover's in really good shape, and I didn't have to cover the spine. I did do the inside though. Let's see. This is a Spanish book, New Active English. It was a Spanish English, like teaching Spanish, people who speak Spanish to speak English. So I've got these 3 signatures. Most of the time I've got 3 sigs. Occasionally, if it's a smaller book, you know, it'll be 2. Like this one's 2. This is Stuart Little. Isn't he adorable? And I love this. Inside, I managed to keep the outside spine on this one. There you go. And then, you know, I keep the backs as much as I can. This one is adorable. The celery stalks at midnight. This one I actually did a pocket here, a little different pocket. And I like that because it's midnight and I had some star paper, so I did that. And then this one has 2 signatures as well. And you can see I haven't stamped on this one yet. So there are some that are waiting for stamps, others that are just all ready except for sewing in. And then there are some that, oh, this one is cute. And this one I actually had to do cover the corners because it looked like somebody chewed, like a cat or something chewed on the corners. So I've got to try to get that off too. But you know what? If I don't sweat it because they're not perfect. None of them are perfect. Now this is actually hand-dyed paper. I dyed a bunch of paper a while back, but it was still summer. We live in South Texas and it was like 1,000 degrees in the garage. And so yeah, so I decided after that I'm not gonna do dyed paper in all these books. And then I still have some more that I'm working on. I hope to have like 20 books to take with me. If I could get to 20, I'll be happy. And then I have these. These are just some smaller price point items. They're just little flip notebooks, and these are nice. I use scrap for these. So this is hand-dyed paper because I had a bunch of scraps from making another journal. And then this is scrap cardstock, and then just scrap paper. You know, I mean, you know, when you make journals and other projects, you have tons of scrap, and I never throw away scrap. And then it's just embroidery floss that's 3-hole pamphlet stitch to sew them in. So these are just a lower price point, and I had fun making these. I do struggle sometimes doing the embellishments on the covers of things and on like snippets and stuff, because I get like super like obsessed with it looking exactly right, and so it takes me a while sometimes. So there's this lady here and this sweet little bluebird. And again, you can see the paper. And then this one, that's a stamp. This one says variations. That was on the whatever paper I made that out of. And this one says grow. I went through an estate sale not too long ago, and it was the person was an artist and had, oh my gosh, 1 million rubber stamps. And I bought a bunch of rubber stamps. This one, and some paper, and oh, it was amazing. This one says Faith. She's another pretty lady there. And then this one with this pretty rose. I think that came out of a seed catalog, I think, a rose catalog, I think. And then another pretty lady. She says Beauty here. And then I have 2 more. They're not stitched in yet. This one, I love this one. I love the way this one turned out. And you can see it's not stitched in. And then I have this cockatoo here with his little flowers. I think that was from that same rose catalog, actually. And then not stitched in. But so that's what I'm working on. And I am working. Today is the, what is today? Today is October 19th, and the show is November 4th and 5th. So as you can imagine, I am like furiously working. I do have this one more, this one more that is nearly ready for stamping, but it's a Hardy Boys. I have a couple of Hardy Boys books. I was able to save the cover. It's a little ratty, but that's okay. And then got these, and I had just started putting some pockets in. So there's that one. But yeah, so that's what's on my table. That's what I've been working on. And I actually had to like do a major table clean so I could do this video. And now I'm going to get back to work. So I hope you liked it.